Yes, I love you too, dear. So, oh, it's, it's I'm starting now. Say hello. Say hello, Constance.
Hello, Constance. Hello. Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Okay, speaking of brides, this is my bride. Anyway, it's June. Okay, it's still June. It's June 21st, which is some kind of solar event. But anyway, I was thinking about June, and when I was younger, I guess, which is a long time, I used to marry people, and in California, it's sort of easy to be credentialed to marry people and things like that. And I'm happy to show up for $100 and sign sign your wedding or your marriage license thing, and pretty much do whatever the couple wants. There, if it's too crazy or Christiany or something that I don't feel qualified to do, of course I pass. But most of the time, it's just a simple civil ceremony of some kind. I let the bride, after I talk with them a few days before the event, I have them construct the ritual themselves, and I just more or less just stand up there and look pretty, and then sign the paperwork. But quite often, I'm asked by a magical couple, or an OTO couple, or a Thelemite couple, to do it in a more Thelemic way. And quite often, well, not quite often, but whenever it's possible, we do it at a full-fledged Gnostic Mass. Now, there is a section, or a little statement in the script of Liber 15, or the Gnostic Mass, where it says the two people taking communion at the climax of the Mass, the only two people that take communion are the couple being married. So that's exactly what we do. We arrange Constance and I arrange to do a full-fledged Gnostic Mass in the temple of usually an OTO lodge, which is big enough to have a congregation of members and non-members alike. And because it's only the couple that are taking communion, it's not all that long. Usually, the longest part of a large mass, is when you wait while everybody takes communion, and that can be quite a long time. But at a marriage, it's quite brief, because just the couple. So now, we haven't done this in a number of years. And so if I was to fashion this ceremony today, it might be a little bit different. Pronouns and things might change according to the wishes of the bride and groom, or the couple being married, I would say. But this is how I handled it. Constance and I handled it for a wedding that we did in San Francisco a number of years ago. And so I thought I'd share that with you, a June wedding. The congregation is admitted and seated for the Gnostic Mass. The groom, who carries a wooden wand, and his best man, who is armed with a ceremonial sword and carries the bride's ring, are seated to the north of the tomb in the west. There's music, and everyone rises as the bride, carrying a bouquet of yellow roses, enters with her bridesmaid, who is armed with a ceremonial sword and carries the groom's ring. The bride and bridesmaid take their seats to the south of the tomb in the west. All resume their seats. The Gnostic Mass begins and proceeds according to Liber 15. Excuse me just for a second, would you please? Hello, Patricia.
Hello.
Hi, I'm currently on the air.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
Can we chat in about 20 minutes?
Oh, sure. No problem. I'll give you a buzz back.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye. Okay, where am I? Are we still there? Sorry about that. The Gnostic Mass begins and proceeds according to Liber 15 until the two to be married have partaken of communion and have returned. None but the two to be married communicate. For the collects, the deacon strikes the bell at the beginning of collect number 11, which is the marriage collect. The deacon stands near the high altar. The priest advances and stands before the shrine in the east, facing the congregation. The priest says, "Brothers and sisters, family and friends, brother groom and sister bride," or however they wish to identify and be identified, "have declared to me their intention to unite with love under will in the mystery of marriage. Is it your will to witness their vows?" he says to the congregation. The people rise and say, "It is." The priest then addresses the bride and groom. "Please come forward." The priestess on the altar still elevates the cup. The bride, followed by the bridesmaid, and groom, followed by the best man, slowly advance up the sides of the temple. They've been in the west, stopping at the altar of incense, with the altar of incense between them, sort of like that. The tomb is that thing, and the altar of incense is that square, and the bridesmaid and the best man are on either side of it. The priest says, "The Queen of Heaven hath said, for I am divided for love's sake, for the chance of union." With that, the priestess lowers the cup. The priest turns to the groom. "Brother groom, do you affirm that it is your will to unite with sister bride with love under will in the mystery of marriage?" The groom says, "I do." The priest turns to the bride. "Sister bride, do you affirm that it is your will to unite with brother groom with love under will in the mystery of marriage?" "I do." The priest, "So with thy all thou hast no right but to do thy will. Do that, and no other shall say nay." The priest makes 5 crosses, 3 on the bride and groom, 4 on the groom alone, and the 5th on the bride. Turning to face the groom, the priest says, "Groom, repeat after me." And then he reads the vow that the groom has written and given to him to read. So the priest, first of all, reads, says, "Repeat after me," and then he reads the priest's or the groom's own words back to him. The groom turns to face the bride and repeats the vow. The priest says, "So mote it be," and the deacon and all the people, all the congregation say, "So mote it be." The priest turning to face the bride, "Bride, repeat after me." He then reads the vow as written by the bride. The bride faces the groom and repeats the vow. The priest says, "So mote it be," and the people, the deacon and all the people also say, "So mote it be." The priest turns and ascends the first step. The groom gives the wand to the best man. The bride gives the roses to the bridesmaid. The bride and groom advance just forward of the altar of incense. The priest descends, gives his lance to the deacon to hold, and receives the rings from the best man and bridesmaid. He takes the rings to the font and dips them in the water. He takes them to the altar of incense and passes them through the incense smoke. He ascends to the high altar and presents the rings to the priestess, who kisses them. He takes the rings and descends. He gives the bride's ring to the groom and the groom's ring to the bride. He takes his lance back from the deacon, ascends the first step, and turns to face the bride and groom. The groom faces the bride and says, "Let this ring be a token of the love that seals my pledge." The groom places the ring on the bride's finger. The bride, facing the groom, "Let this ring be a token of the love that seals my pledge." The bride places the ring on the groom's finger. The priest, "There is no bond that can unite the divided but love." The priest gives the groom his lance to hold in his left hand. "In thou be the essence of the life of the sun." The priest receives the cup from the priestess, and he gives it to the bride to hold in her left hand. In thou be the essence of the joy of the earth. The bride and groom hold the weapons as in the tarot card, the lovers, the Thoth tarot card, the lovers, with their left hands. The priest joins the right hands of the bride and groom, held up at breast height. "For he is ever a sun, and she a moon, but to him is the winged secret flame, and to her the stooping starlight." The priestess raises her arms in invocation. The best man and bridesmaid draw their swords and form an arch of steel above the bride, groom, and priest. The priest makes a cross with his thumb. In the name of the Father. He makes a circle with his open hand. In the name of the Mother. He makes a cross between the index and medius. In the name of the serpent and the lion. He then makes the sign of the Emperor, just like in that Thoth tarot card. He pauses and then makes the sign of silence. The priestess lowers her arms. The priest raises his arms as comprehending the couple. And by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of California and Ecclesia Gnostica Catholica, I proclaim you husband and wife. The best man and bridesmaid sheathe their swords. The bride and groom return the lance and cup to the priest. They descend between the altar of incense and the font. The best man and bridesmaid give the roses and wand back to the bride and groom. The priest returns the cup to the priestess. The priest and priestess face the couple and raise their weapons in salute. The bride says to the groom, I am above you and in you. My ecstasy is in yours. My joy is to see your joy. The groom to the bride, come, lift up thine heart and rejoice. We are one. We are none. The bride and groom kiss. There's a pause. And they turn to face the shrine. The priest says, Omnia in duos, duo in unum, unus in nihil. Hac nec quattro, nec omnia, nec duo, nec unus, nec nihil sunt. Gloria Patri et Matri et Filio et Filia, et Spiritui Sancto externo, et Spiritui Sancto interno, ut erit est erit in secular seculorum. The all within this couple within the one within the void. These are neither four, nor all, nor two, nor one, nor not. Glory to the Father, and to the Mother, and to the Son, and to the Daughter, and to the Holy Spirit without, and to the Holy Spirit within, which was, and is, and ever shall be, world without end. The priest ascends the 3 steps and closes the veil. With the lance, he makes a cross on the bride and the groom 3 times. Thus, the Lord bless you, the Lord enlighten your minds and comfort your hearts and sustain your bodies. The Lord bring you to the accomplishment of your true wills, the great work, the summum bonum, true wisdom and perfect happiness. There's music. The priest goes out, the deacon and children following into the tomb in the west. The bride and groom remain briefly with the people to accept their felicitations and then depart. So that's a version of a marriage ceremony that follows the Gnostic Mass, in which only the people being married have taken communion. So actually it goes a lot smoother and a lot better than just reading the description. But I hope you get a kick out of that today. And I think I've got an important phone call coming in. We're trying to get this Aleister Crowley movie off the ground. So, or even on the runway. Anyway, until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.